Now, something to point out, guys, over here with the music, you guys can tell, you guys can see that this is one song, and right here we are changing to another song. This right here is a sound effect, and this is another sound effect.
Deep, game over.
Dear Mandeep, it has been an absolutely amazing, life-changing, beyond imaginable 2 years. We have made some wonderful memories along the way, getting to know you, spending time.
So okay, guys, so again, every time that I'm shooting, I always like to get like a lot of content, because as much content as you can get, the better. All those angles, like I'm shooting, like a wide shot, and then I'm gonna go to a closer, I'm gonna go to another wide shot. All those different angles, it really help you, to tell the story when you are editing. Something else to point out is the composition. I always like to frame the shot, and to have like a really nice composition for every single shot, and that's something that really complements the film. Not only it matches the dialogue, but also it complements the cinematic look, which is something that I always look for. Here there is a dialogue from the bride. This is a voiceover that we recorded the day of the ceremony, and this voiceover, it is something that I always kind of like to do with all my brides. I always like to push to get this voiceover done for pretty much all my videos, and I have found that this is really helpful, guys. Obviously every wedding company is different. Everybody has a different style, everybody shoots different ways, but hey, when it comes to my personal style, I always like to have dialogue from the couple. I always like to have this type of voiceovers, because that is something that really helps to tell the story throughout the film. And if I'm using a dialogue from the bride, I'm always gonna go for the bride, pretending writing that letter, and that is something that I always do. And if I'm having dialogue from the groom, I'm always gonna have the groom as well, writing that letter, so it makes more sense, and it makes sense, for the video editing. So let's move on. Again, like I said, this is a different song. This is a dialogue from the bride. These are, sounds effect, and these are the clips.
Along the way, getting to know you, spending time with you, learning things about myself that I did not know before, growing with you, and most of all, going on all of life's crazy adventures with you.
Okay, guys, real quick over here. We're jumping from this shot to the next shot, and again, I'm establishing the scene. I always do this because this, like I said before, this we are just establishing where we are. And so this is the hotel where the bride was getting ready, and showing this beautiful drone shot, and then I'm gonna go for a close-up, and I'm showing some details. And right immediately I'm gonna jump into the room. Like I said before, this is this is the bride who is actually talking right here. So now the next shots are going to be the bride writing the audio. So that's what is gonna be going on over here. Let me play this for you.
It's been one of the best experiences of my life. You make me a better person, you make me a stronger person, and you make me feel beautiful. In a world where love is so hard to find, you have somehow figured out a way to make me fall in love every single day, over and over again. And for that, I thank you.
Okay, so let's start right here. so we don't go too far. So right here again, like I say, real quick lenses breakdown. All these shots that you guys just saw with the bride, writing the letter, the majority of these shots were done with the 50 millimeter at 1.2. And let me see, this is a 50, this is a 50 from behind over the shoulder at the bride. This is the 50 as well. 50 millimeter, starting with the autofocus and then pushing until it gets the focus. 50 millimeter, and this is a macro lens. Now this is a 50 millimeter and 50 millimeter. This is a whole different day. Now here, real quick, again, as always, I'm getting different shots, and I'm getting, I'm telling the story, guys. This is just a bride, writing a letter, but you don't want this to be boring. You want this to look, interesting. So just in order, to create, something as simple as just the bride, writing a letter, in order, if you wanna, make this, really interesting, you gotta get different shots. And this is exactly what I did here.
I thank you. Thank you for taking my hand and making me see how truly beautiful life can be. I cannot wait for this new adventure together, baby. As the man who made me fall in love would say, like a river flows surely to the sea. Darling, so it goes. Some things are meant to be. Take my hand, take my whole life too, for I can't help falling in love with you. I love you, my otter.
Okay, guys, so there's a lot going on here, so let me break it down for you real quick. So the bride start with writing this letter, at the same time I having the bride a voiceover with this audio going on here. Right about this shot, we are jumping into a whole different day. For those of you who might not be familiar with Indian weddings, and pretty much like every single Indian wedding, no matter the type of Indian wedding, they are always going to have like a Sangeet night, like the Pakistani weddings they call it, the Mehndi night. But it's pretty much almost the same. It's a dancing night. They're gonna get together and they're gonna do performances and stuff like that. And these shots were done during that date. I found this spot here like the perfect spot to start incorporating a few of these shots, because I'm just supporting the dialogue from the bride along with this shots.
Thank you for taking my hand and making me see how truly beautiful life can be. I cannot wait for this new adventure together, baby.
Again, different angles, guys. This is a running is with a 24 millimeter. I had for this shot, I had the running on the ground, pointing up, and not actually moving with the running. I just set it up on the ground in order to get the shot.
I cannot wait for this new adventure.
This is a 70-200, which is actually my second shooter.
Yeah, the baby. As the man who made me fall in love would say.
Now pay attention to this shot over here, guys, because sometimes you have to make decisions when you're editing. This is the original shot, the raw footage, and so what happens is that you're seeing this truck in the back, which to be honest with you, I didn't notice it the day at the event. For some reason, I was just so focused, shooting, that I didn't, notice it. And also it was about to rain, so we were kind of, doing this real quick just to go back inside. When I was editing, I found out that this was gonna be in the shot, so you gotta kind of make decisions when you're editing. So if you can see the truck, is not in the shot. I master out, so just to avoid it, because that was really annoying me, and I just didn't want it just to keep it in the shot. For something like that, it's very easy, guys. You have to basically duplicate your clip, and just down the opacity. You're just gonna come over here where you can create different type of masks, and what you're gonna do is just going to create the mask that you need. And from there, if you come to a motion menu, you are going to actually move that to the spot that you need to cover, and it's that easy. Then you can just apply a few fader to the edges, and you are all set. If the second way that I was thinking to do is the easiest way, just reframe the shot. Don't be afraid to scale and zoom in the shot. If you are shooting 4K, you can actually be able to zoom in a little bit. It's not gonna affect the quality of the footage. So you can just like I did here, you can just reframe it and get rid of the track, but it doesn't work for every shot, guys, trust me. And also I wanted to keep the same resolution. I didn't want it to reframe it, so I just mastered up. Attention to details, it's important. If you see something like that when you're editing, just don't get lazy. Hey, just remove it if the shot's gonna look better.
Like a river flows surely to the sea, darling, so it goes. Some things are meant to be. Take my hand, take my whole life too, for I can't help falling in love with you.
Now, notice how I finished the whole dialogue with the bride closing, the letter. When it comes to the storytelling, it really, makes sense. And this is something that is connecting, the audience that is watching the film. So, she start with the dialogue, writing this beautiful letter, but at the end, she finished, her dialogue, closing the letter. So, the storytelling is really good here, and it is something that connects the footage. Now you can see how right after we are jumping into more details from the day, but at the same time the grooms comes in with the dialogue from his part.
You once said to me, that is the best feeling in the world.
Now, something that I always do when the grooms start talking, I'm always gonna start, most of the cases, I'm always gonna start showing the bride. Because most of the cases, the groom is gonna, he's gonna talk about his bride. And I wanna match, that dialogue with shots at the bride getting ready, or I'm gonna show the bride at a different situation, but I'm pretty much gonna always show the bride when he's talking.
Once said to me, that is the best feeling in the world, to forget what loneliness feels like. You have given me a new perspective on life, and in doing so have shown me what has up to now been missing. In our short time together, you have shown me how beautiful, adventurous, and full of love life can actually be. You have a mesmerizing aura about you, this glow that just radiates from within your beautiful soul. It is that very light that I hold on to so dearly, as it gives me the strength to successfully navigate life. With these past few years as a preview to our future, I have no shadow of a doubt that our life together is going to be absolutely spectacular. In our short time together, you have shown me how
50 millimeter, and we finish with this beautiful shot again, monopod. and we jump right here. We're showing the bride completely done, walking out of the room. Even that this is a whole different location, but it looks like it is, the same location. So she's walking out of the room, she's looking, to the horizon. Right after, this shot, this was done with the Ronin and the 24 millimeter. Now, right after this shot, I'm gonna jump into the Baraat.
That our life together is going to be absolutely spectacular.
Again, guys, if you are following this video from the beginning, you can tell that I always set, or establish, the scene for, any location with a drone shot or running shot. And right after this shot, I'm jumping to this beautiful drone shot, but at the same time, right on the nicks down here, I set a sound effect with some of the ambient sound that was going on that day, the drums, people, singing, talking.